John Stonestreet is with us, president of the Colson Center for Christian Worldview. And John, I got to be honest, I'm sick. I'm just sick of the divisions. I really am. And at the beginning, when COVID started, and I felt like I was more patient, and I wanted, no one had ever been through this before. This was uncharted water for everybody. It was, people were, slamming elected officials, and I was, let's give the guy a break. Let's give the woman a break. Like, they're trying to figure it out. They didn't expect to be governor during an era like, well, you know what? All of my fine ideals have collapsed.
That break's over.
I'm just sick of it, John. I wish that people were just kinder about it. You brought up Chuck. A couple years before Chuck passed away, he did a series with us here on the show, and he told us this about 5 times. If you can't learn to be winsome in how you speak of your faith in a secular world, you are not going to have any success, and you're going to be a miserable person. So if he told John and I that 5 times, he must have told you that, John, 5,000 times, right? So I just
absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like we've lost that. Everybody's so mad.
Yeah. Well, but there's an equal and opposite mistake, and Chuck would have said this just as many times, and that is to confuse being non-convictional, not having a strong grounding in truth, and use that as an excuse for winsomeness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's almost as if we're told that truth and love are incompatible, that you either can do one or the other. If you love, it means you don't have a strong opinion. But, as we've seen, some of the issues that are creating the division in America are significant issues. I mean, it's more than just personal matters of difference. Lives are literally at stake depending on what you think about the humanity of the unborn. Emotional well-being is at stake based on what you think about these kind of hot topic issues of sexuality and gender. And, the well-being of school children, of parents, of communities when it comes to school lockdowns and what principals are trying to do in teachers. But you're right. What we are forgetting is that every single person that we meet and talk with are themselves made in the image and likeness of God. And we should treat them as such. And we're not even winsome. We shouldn't just be winsome because it works, because sometimes it doesn't. You could be as winsome as you want, like my friend Jack Phillips here in Denver, the baker, who stood up for his convictions and did it really well. And you still might, get shot between the eyes. Mm-hmm. But Christians should not just stand up for truth and do it winsomely and lovingly because of some strategic advantage. It's because of what we actually believe.
Sure. Right.
We believe that God loves us. We believe that any grasp of truth that we have is by God's grace. And, Chuck used to say this: you never get mad at a blind man for tripping over your feet. And if people are really lost in their worldviews, then, as Paul told Timothy, we must persuade. We must do it, not because we're mad at the person, but because we're mad that the enemy has taken the person captive by bad ideas.